the double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hollywood. I'm at Connelly Live with that double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. We have a very special guest today, one of the legends of arm wrestling who wants some money, I believe. Wants that cheddar, wants that bread. It is none other than the legend, the original, the best Hollywood. It is Don Underwood. There he is. How have you been, mate?
Man, I've been kicking it, just kicking it live, rock and rolling, loving the world of arm wrestling. Things are exciting. Glad to be here with you, Mr. Hollywood. We need to talk about some money, some back taxes, if you will, for the infringement of a trademark.
Absolutely. I know you love the story.
We'll get to that after the show. I think we've crossed the bridge before, but we've never finished the conversation. Matt Connelly in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on here, man. So let's get down to the brass tacks and talk about what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, big things happening in the World Series of Arm Wrestling. You guys had the finals just about a month ago, which, there it is, the World Series of Arm Wrestling. Greg Sharp, Don Underwood, you guys putting on some incredible tournaments with huge cash prizes. And we see some of the best talent in North America and, internationally coming over to compete on those cards. And, I'm sure that the finals would have been a lot of fun. I know we're looking forward to seeing it when it comes out.
Pretty fantastic. You hit all the high points. If you wasn't there, you don't know. But let me just tell you something. A lot of upsets. The way that the talent was so deep, some of the matches took the nearly guaranteed winners out of it, where they, potentially didn't even place. I don't want to throw away a lot of the suspense, but this is the real deal, man. You don't get no better than tournament arm wrestling. And Greg Sharp in the World Series of Arm Wrestling right now, standing alone on a mountain. And listen, it's just a beautiful view. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. The finals, November 7th, back in San Diego again. Prize money is going to be bigger. We're hoping quite a bit bigger. A lot of announcements coming up. I don't want to give too much away. I mean, you never want to overpromise, underdeliver right now. Let me just promise one thing. It's going to be an exciting year, and there's going to be some huge things happening, some additional qualifiers at some major venues, along with just some exciting arm wrestling. Potentially, like I said, I don't want to get the cart before the horse type of stuff, but just look forward to it. Pay attention, folks, because World Series of Arm Wrestling is leading the pack at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys have been putting on some huge events and attracting, as I said before, like some of the best guys that are in the sport. And I think the interesting thing about it is that a lot of people would have looked at that tournament and gone, oh, it's like $10,000 whatever for first prize if you're winning this division, and there's $5,000 if you win this division, and $5,000 if you win. You can walk away with $25,000 if you win a few different divisions, different arms,
right?
Which obviously attracted some of the really big guys, big names, and it was fun to see that, because a lot of people would sort of look at a tournament structure and be like, oh yeah, I could probably go in and just smash everyone in that division. And then they turn up and it's like, oh no, everyone in the top 10 is here.
Yeah. Now, there was guys that would normally win tournaments placing 10th place. There was guys normally winning tournaments and should potentially have won, but ran into the other guy early and had worse to just... The excitement was there. The drama was there. The edge of your seat was where you was at the entire day. It went flawless. 5 hours, 4 tables, 5 hours. Massive amount of entries, smooth as could be, and we couldn't ask for any better. The talent was deep. I can only guess it's going to be deeper. One of the guys, I won't mention no names, walked out with $95, $100 bills. winning some overalls and then doing some major upsets. Other people made a lot of money. Like I said, we gave over $120,000 in cash prizes. So that was one guy. And he flat out said, hey, I walked away with this. It's never happened before. I've had to wait this, that, and other. You didn't leave the building till that money was in your pocket. And that's the difference between us, meaning World Series Farmers, Greg Sharp, and everybody else. So, pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No, it's been huge. And I know that Greg is looking at a prize pool of over 100,000 for this year. For next year coming up. And which is just incredible. I mean, it's got to be the biggest prize pool of any organization that's out there, especially in tournament arm wrestling.
Yeah, there's no money really in tournament arm wrestling. $2,000-3,000, some 500 overalls here and there. A couple of our qualifiers, 3 of them to be exact, we give $1,000 overall, 500 right, 500 left. The others are established tournaments. We've got 12, 14 of them this year. We've got those nearly all booked, all the way from like February through October. Late October is our last one, 3 weeks from the final in Florida. So we've got some outstanding promoters and some outstanding events, and I believe it's going to bring lots of folks. I know some guys are coming in from your neck of the woods. We're even talking about maybe doing some qualifiers down under in a couple other countries. We're working out the details on that. But again, I don't cart before the horse. It's just growing rapidly, and it is. This is the only place that the guys can say this is not a hobby anymore. This is becoming a real deal opportunity for people to make a living at arm wrestling. If you do it right, you get in the right place, you do fairly well. At least subsidize your income at first. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of those things that it becomes not a hobby, not a pastime, but an actual proper professional sport that you can dedicate your time to and get paid for, which is fantastic. We want to see that more of that as possible because this sport, we obviously love it, and the people that are in the sport, the majority of people that are in the sport at this point in time do it for no money. Maybe they do it for a plastic trophy, maybe they do it just for a certificate, but it's not about those elements. It's because they absolutely love the sport. They love competing and getting on the table with other people, and I love that spirit of what happens with the sport of arm wrestling.
No, I agree 100%. A lot of that, certificates and trophies and stuff like that, just because of that's kind of how we had it for many, many years. And not that I'm disappointed. I mean, there is a point in time where you need to make a living, but the arm wrestlers need to be taken care of. A lot of these promoters are charging $40, $50 for a class to get in. So some of these guys are multiple class, both arms. You don't spend $200-300 fees, you get 200-300 entries. You're talking about a gob of money. None of it going back to the arm wrestlers spending $50 on it. But it's to me, I understand it, but to me that's a kind of an amateur level. Entry, and if you want to go test yourself, do it. But then find somebody. At some point, obviously, focus on it. The trophy is winning that big class title that has meaning to it. That's what we're trying to do. So, we want everyone to succeed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting my thumb on any company, any organization, promoter. I appreciate it, each and every one of them. I just want to know the difference. We want the best. We want the talent competition, and we want to make sure that they're and paid as they should be along. With the contracts we have with ESPN and some other things, it just makes sense to get out there. We want to be seen. We want everyone to know about this, how big we are, and that it is a real deal. And that's what we can provide at everyone's here. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody. I do. But the professionals are finding their way to where they belong. And that's, companies that are taking care of the arm wrestling. So that means a lot to us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It's such a critical element that it's funny because we've put on tournaments here before and we had cash prizes, but it wasn't a big prize pool. It was like, I don't know, $1,000 or something, but, split across all the divisions. But when we were handing out the money to people who'd won the classes, they were all just like, this is the first time I've ever won money from arm wrestling. And these are some of the best guys in the country. It was like...
Well, it definitely changed your vision. Especially when you put a company at $1,000 up on the stage, and you actually have it. There's been many people that promise money, and some people still out there waiting to get paid that. that big prize money. But that's okay. Like I said, I mean, I give everybody, props for trying. Sometimes they fail, and sometimes, you get hurt doing it. And, bless the guys that have failed, at least continuing to try to make it right and stuff like that. So there's a lot of hard work to be successful in this sport. Greg Sharp seems to have a little bit of a he works his ass off. It's hard to get on the phone. Not only does he run a construction company, he's a producer for movies and music. And this guy, I don't know how he has time to sleep. I know he sleeps because I text him at 6 in the morning and always tells me don't text until like 9 because of our time. So he don't like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's probably when he does doze off. But I tend to get busy in the morning and text him way too early. And of course, I get scolded pretty good from the old man from time to time for doing that. He's a busy man who does a lot. So, yeah, we appreciate him and all he does.
Yes, absolutely. And again, it seems to be that the people that are running organizations, running promotions, tournaments, they're all people that are arm wrestlers themselves. I mean, you see like Robert Baxter with East vs. West, Greg Sharp with World Series of Arm Wrestling, myself, Dave Stockbridge with AWE. I think Engen, when he was doing the East vs. West stuff. It's like the people that are involved in the sport from a production side of thing or from a promotional side of thing, they were competitors or still are competitors as well.
That's true. And that makes the most sense because the guys that are promoters are guys like myself and you that want to see this just be a rumor, be a surprise to somebody when you go, hey, I'm a professional arm wrestler, and they go, that even real? And you go, just like I said on Game of Arms, this is real as anything else in your life. Those are things that leave marks in people's minds. And these promoters are doing the right thing. Look, arm wrestling is literally at its peak it's ever been at. Devin doing his thing, whether you like him or not, he's doing it. He's getting it out there and it's making a difference. I wear a lot of gear, and I'm always getting asked, hey, you still any good at this? I'm like, damn, do I look that old? I guess I do. But, yeah, I'm still pretty decent at it. And we'll find out Saturday. I'll be pulling for the Ryan Johnson over there at his. He's got 4 tournaments. This one here is for Bo Olson's cancer deal. So I'm really honored to be a part of it. But there's some big talent going to be over there. Wallace Dilly being one of them. Me and him always have a banger. He's hard to beat anymore. That's a tough dude. So I'm going to go ahead. I was going to pull the 42s, but decided I'll jump in there. I want to bang with the best. I don't want to run from them. So I'm going to go head-to-head with one of the, what's he call himself? I don't know. I call him big-headed, goofy-looking fella. That's what I call him. I hope you hear me, Wallace, because I think about that Saturday. But anyway, yeah, I've got a big tournament Saturday, so I hope I'm able to still compete with those guys. I put the work in. But, yeah, man, arm wrestling's at a peak, and I look forward to being part of it for as long as I can walk around and do it, I'm going to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Do you remember when it was, like when you started the arm wrestling, that you were like, I am really loving this? Like, was there a moment where you're like, this is awesome? Was it straight on the first night, or did it take a couple of sessions?
No, I actually, I was one of those kids in high school that arm wrestled everybody. I was the guy to beat. If I got beat, I kept, trying to challenge the guy. Usually a couple years older than me, but I'd always win. Found out a tournament. Somebody seen it and said, hey, there's a tournament at the state fair. And, man, I was just giddy, So I went to a tournament, and I had arm wrestled a big guy across the table. I was working at Long John Silver's at the time, and I tore a little tendon or something in my elbow. So I had no power. I ended up getting beat by some little guy out of Nebraska. And he giggled at me when he beat me, because I was a pretty good-sized boy. Well, that kind of left a mark in my shorts, if you will. And so I healed up, and I chased him down and ended up beating him. And that was just kind of my chi and my goal at the time. And then I started winning state championships. And I'd run back and forth. I started with WPAA, which is the World Professional Arm Wrestling Association, which is do-go arm wrestling, which it may exist. I never hear of anything. But it's ready to go, and you can use your arm and push, but you can't use your body or anything else until the second go. So it was definitely a different deal. And then I went to a single go, and I was super fast. If I was in history, I've been known as one of maybe the fastest heavyweight of all time. I don't know, but I definitely would like to time and see it. You guys surely have opinions out there, good, bad, and ugly, but I was pretty fast for a good boy. And yeah, man, I just chased every postcard that was sent to me from started with WPAA, went to AAA, then USWA. That was the big thing for about 10 12, 15 years. And then started stepping all over the place. So I've been a piece and a part of everything. I love and respect all the promoters. I don't think I have any bad blood out there. And if I do, well, so I try my best to get along with everybody. But
Yeah, absolutely.
what a great sport. It's a family. Every tournament's a reunion. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's been incredibly good for me as well when I was over in the United States. As I was just saying before we went live, I got a little bit stuck, and then I got helped out by everyone in the arm wrestling community over in the United States, which was just amazing. I think out of 90 nights that I was there, I paid for 3 nights of accommodation.
That's normal. Hell, I went 10 or 15 years where I'd go to the tournament. I just called one of my buddies and said, "Hey, man, I'm coming to the tournament." He's like, "Well, come on, stay with us." And I made it a habit, and that was pretty cool. I'd stay a couple days, sometimes a week. Sometimes they'd have to evict me, but that was rare. But that was arm wrestling. Arm wrestling in the '90s was, hey, you show up, you were liked, man. You were well taken care of, and you didn't have to rent a car in a hotel. And Matt, you're doing the same thing. Anytime you're over here, especially in the Midwest, holler at me, man. We got a room for you. And that's the way it should be.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a wonderful community filled with amazing people and so supportive. It's so funny to me. It's like the conundrum of like so aggressive on the table. You're trying to use all of your strength, all your power to overcome somebody else, but then off of the table, or as soon as the match is finished, it's all support, friendship, and like, let me show you what you did wrong, and I'll show you how you can win next time. And like,
no, you're not wrong. I mean, there's a lot of videos. I mean, a lot of people know who I am. A lot of people don't. If you pay attention, you could spend hours on YouTube watching videos of me. And one of them in particular was against Tom Nelson. I beat him pretty bad right-handed. And, we're pretty hot and heavy up there. It's a UAL event. We're in each other's face. I mean, really, I didn't give a shit. We fought right there. I was cool with it. But he said something about left, and I was actually decent left-handed, but in a top roll, I wasn't any good at a hook, and he ended up pulling me in a hook and then jerking me to him. But it just pissed me off, and he was pissed, so we got, face-to-face, and we were ready to roll. They had to break us up. But he's went and sit down at the bar, and of course, I'm yelling and screaming at the crowd, sweating like a fat guy I am. Walk around the corner, and he sits at the bar, and he sits up just as straight as it can be. He knows it was for real. And I just sit down and, patted him on the leg and said, good job, young man. That's what we need. That's what's going to sell this sport. And then we moved on with life. So, no, you're right. You can't, but it is for real. I would have beat the shit out of him on the stage. I don't care. We'd have come off that stage and we'd have been brothers just like we were before we got on. That's how it is. And when you're up there, that is no game. We do not share with my friends, but we don't fuck around when we're up there. This is business. I don't care if it's my wife, my son. It's on. That's my playground. Don't come try to be the bully in my yard.
With that explosive hit that you got, was that something you were able to develop, or is it just a natural thing that you always had?
Well, I'll tell you, I used to run around with the little guys. We'd skip school. We'd always be, just real fast, slap hands and goof off. How you put your hands out and you slap them. I always did hand speed drills. So my twitch was always quick from jump. So actually, when I went from the 2-go to the single-go, the AAA, I was winning immediately. I was very, very fast. It was hard to stop. So in a heavyweight division where most guys are slow and powerful, I'd already pinned them before they could really take off. So it was a gift early.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's one of the things that I find so frustrating going against people that are explosive, because exactly that. Before you can even apply any power, you've already been picked. It's like, the match is already done.
Yeah, you got to prepare for it. I mean, a lot of people, if you do watch game film or anything, it is just like any other sport. There's ways to slip if you know they're fast. But some of these guys now that are fast have got some massive hand strength, and they're going to hang on. They'll jerk your finger, break your finger, jerk your thumb off, whatever. things have changed. The sport's evolved so much in the 35 years that I've been in it. It's just a different sport. I mean, you got to remember, when I was number one in the world, I mean, I probably wouldn't have been, top 30 in the world today like I was then. It's just a different sport. The evolution is just tremendous. But, it was fun being there, very hard to stay there. So if you guys ever, doubt those guys up there, they are putting the work in, man. And we're talking, this is not a 7-day-a-week job to be the best top 10, top 15. And some of those guys, are blessed. But for the most part, they're putting the time in. It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when you were at that peak, that number one position, I mean, how much time, effort were you putting into the sport leading up to that?
I had a Top Roll Arm Wrestling Elite was my T-shirt company and promotion. So I had about 30 arm wrestlers. So I had to continuously stay on the table. I did quite a bit of gym, but we just arm wrestled a ton, man, and there was some good talent there. And, when you were tired, you just kept going. So I really attribute a lot of that just to those guys and what they gave to me. And the table time was really the difference. But I got super, super strong, around 09 to 12. It was just, man, I was at a huge peak. There wasn't anybody out there really that bothered me, even some of the guys from, the Vendettas and stuff like that, I was able to compete with. A lot of it had to do with timing and hit. Their power was better, but my twitch was just too much. So it's a bless.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're obviously competing still. You've got a tournament that you're attending this Saturday. And how do you see it going? I mean, you said you wanted to go into the super heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, Wallace Dilly's in there, and I mean, he's just a lot. I don't know. I'm steadily climbing up in strength again. I must be too far away from him. He did just pull Corey West last weekend, and then he had an after pull, so I'm hoping he's beat up, and I'll be on par with him. Of course, you got the big horse, Easton McCormick, coming in. He's getting bigger and stronger. He's real fast. I don't see him being an issue, but you never know. He's 19 years old. These young kids, the way that he pulled at the finale was so impressive. Like I said, I can't give much away, but that guy is something special, and everybody better be careful about, seeing him across the table in the next few years. He's something special. But I expect to do well, first or second, and then, of course, I don't pull left. I got that torn bicep, but I'll be on the mic for the super matches, and we're all there for bowls. And so he's got a GoFundMe page. Guys, if you got just dig deep, even if it's $5-10, this guy's going through chemo and a lot. He's off work a ton, so I'm not asking you to do anything other than what you feel, your heart is drawing you to do. But Bo means a lot to us, and he has done so much with the sport. If you don't know him, probably because he's been training guys for 20 years in his place. Don't charge nobody nothing. Buys their lunch, does all this. And this guy's a monster. I sit and watch him smash Brent Rockers at the qualifier twice, splashed him without Brent even moving. And unfortunately, he couldn't go to the final. I think he would have won it. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let me bring up the World Series of Arm Wrestling webpage here, because I know you guys have a huge year coming up next in 2026 with all sorts of qualifying events, and then leading up to the finals, obviously, again, which will more than likely be, this is San Diego, in the Harley-Davidson place again that you're looking at for next year?
November 7th. Yeah, that's guaranteed. I could go over kind of what we got here, minus one or two little events we're still finalizing. We got South Carolina and Adam Krasinski early in the year. That's going to be February, March, followed by Greg Brown's event in Mexicali, May 2nd. Mike Bisman's having one in New York after that. And then we're going to put one together. We haven't finalized it yet, so I'll keep it out, but it's going to be in the Midwest. Of course, we have ours in Riverside, Jacksonville, North Carolina, that's ours. New York State Fair with James Reed in September, and then, of course, Michael Moody's barn tournament, Barn and Maple in October, which is phenomenal. It's all for the veterans. So we got a couple others that, like I said, we haven't finalized yet, but they're going to be very soon. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 12 total on the books, like I said, and we'll have those other three announced here in the next couple of weeks, but it's going to be a phenomenal year.
Oh, absolutely. And leading into, as we said before, that huge prize pool in the finals, which is going to attract, I think, it's one of the things is the people that are attending each year, and whoever won the finals this year, which we're still to find out about, is obviously going to be gunning for that again next year. But then you're going to see the level of competitors continue to rise as they realize not only is there great prize money, but the best in the world are attending these events.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can really make a name for yourself quick. I mean, without giving away some of the stuff, you are going to be shocked at some of the losses, what happened. It was just unbelievable. Arm wrestling at its best. I'd never seen better. It was absolutely an honor to be a part of it. And like I said, it's just badass, man. And like you said, it is. I mean, the talent started coming in. We started getting a few Europeans. That's going to travel very quick. They got paid well. Very, very well. And even pays the Masters. It pays well, too. So, guys, if you're a little bit older, I mean, it's like $1,000 or $1,500 for first in the Masters, I mean, which is unheard of. And we're really like to see a lot of the ladies. We'd love to, add some prize money there. We're still getting the lack of numbers for the ladies, unfortunately. But you guys keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, we'd love to have you there. I'm a huge fan of women arm wrestling. And all we can do is hopefully continue. The more we get, the more opportunities will be there. So, encourage your ladies to get out there, guys. We want them there.
Oh, absolutely. And the commentary role, you've been doing that. Your title, official title, I think, is Director of Operations, and obviously you're heavily involved in
yeah, I do bits and pieces of everything, set up, tear down. I get on the mic, I commentate. I think Greg's still, trying to figure out the role for me. We're bringing in some other pieces. So the way that it's growing so rapidly, he needs to be cautious and make sure he has all the pieces at the right time. And I'm patient. Like I said, I'm there for him. I am his right hand. What he can't do, I try to do, and the relationships that I have are really good across the board. And I just want to continue making sure that I'm able to help him in the way that he needs help with. Wherever, if it's in the big seat, then it's in the big seat. But if not, I'll be happy to be a part of this great company and continue to move with it.
Absolutely. And the commentary stuff, the stuff that you've been doing, I love listening to your voice when you're doing events. I think you've got that classic. It reminds me of the WWE wrestling. Like, it feels like that excitement when you're watching an event, when you're listening to you do your commentary.
Yeah, I definitely. You definitely catch a character. There's a different character of Hollywood when he gets in. Whether I'm at a ballpark, I got my baseball voice, or I don't realize that I change voices when I get in a room with people, but you do, and I appreciate that. I've heard that before, and I have heard, and I do appreciate everybody knowing the difference. And like I said, I've had a lot of compliments, and I just appreciate everybody enjoying the sport. Coming from my perspective, whether it's the voice or how it's pitched, like I said, I'm just glad to be a part of this amazing adventure that we've been on for as long as I have, and I can just hope that it just continues to get better over the last few years of this, time that I have. But I just want to see success. I want to see it mainstream before I age out. I'm a long ways from aging out, so hopefully we can get mainstream quick, and I can, get a piece of the pie. If anything, just like I said, people say legend. There's a few people out there that's just been in the sport long enough to be called that. We've done a lot of cool stuff, but I think there's a lot more stuff to come. And Greg Sharp's going to be in charge of a lot of that, man. He's really putting the time, effort, and money into it, unlike anybody else. Like you said, with reality shows and ESPN contracts and the money he's putting out in the World Series for the finals, along with the way that he's doing the qualifiers, it's just brilliant. And like I said, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a comment here from the Drew24. He says, Don, it's always fun to watch Paul and be involved with just about any event. So happy to see how much Don has done to get himself back in shape again.
Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape, man. We've chatted. You kind of know the shape I'm in.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been and looked like a heavy-set guy, and I've always had abs, this and that, but I really put the work in. I'm down 260. 265 and just about as good a shape as an old man could be in. My lips are good. Some of my injuries are nearly healed. I've still got some inner elbow problems, and if it ever heals, everybody, I mean, they're going to be in trouble. I mean, I got a ton of power, and my hit's there. Not too far off from being in that top 10, but I got a little nagging injury that's giving me some problems, and that's kind of where I'm at over the last 3 years. I've been fighting it, so running some peptides, trying to heal that up, doing a lot of maintenance on it. But she's coming along. Hopefully, we'll be back 100% and start rattling some cages again real soon.
Absolutely, never count Don Underwood out.
That's right.
And with the commentary, what was the first time that you did that? And did you have any sort of preconceived ideas as to how it was going to go, or did you just get the mic and it just came naturally?
Yeah, so I was a professional wrestler for 7 years. So we were trained in promos. So I'd have to talk in the ring to crowds at arenas. So I was kind of comfortable on the mic already. ROTN, Gary Roberts, Arm TV, and Don Fritchie was doing stuff 06, 07, 08, maybe even as late as 09. And they were traveling around. They were giving quite a bit of money, like $20,000 per event. And I'd grab the mic, and for some reason they just said, "Hey, talk," and I did. And you can actually pull up some of the ROTN stuff, and you still see me with hair up fat as shit, out of shape. But yeah, that's where it all began. Calling John wrong names, perfect something. I don't even know what it was. I watch it from time to time and giggle, but yeah, it was a good time, man. You know, people saying, "Hey, man, you're good at this," and it just kind of stuck around. And I coined the phrase, "Where you at?" You know, wherever we are, and so I still use that now. I want to know where you at. You know, make some noise, that type of stuff. Just, you know, we want to make sure the crowd's there and enjoying themselves, and it's nice to be able to communicate with them and get them involved. So that's just kind of what it was, man. Just me wanting more out of the sport. I always said I wanted to be more like professional wrestling, and that's kind of where I got the name Hollywood, because I was always doing something stupid to get attention, you know. And unlike you earned your name. So
I earned it by giving it to myself.
You just pulled it out of my hat. Like, oh, that sounds good. We'll roll with that.
Yeah, that'll do. I don't know if anyone else has it, but too bad.
I love it. Hey, you're on a different continent. It don't count.
Yes, I still remember one of my friends at training said, "Have you come up with a nickname?" I said, "Yes, Hollywood." And he said, "You can't use Hollywood. Don Underwood has Hollywood." And I said, "Who's Don Underwood?"
Yeah, you found out. I bet you Googled it when you got home, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, there could be two Hollywoods.
There can be two. Yeah, you're in the lightweight class. It ain't going to matter. That's right. Not bad, boy. There's a Springfield in every state. You know that, right?
Yeah. That's why they picked it for The Simpsons.
That's right. Listen, man, tell us about what's going on with AEW, man. I mean, you're over there, and I hear Over the Top's just happened. There's some really cool stuff going on. I don't know if that's you or what. I mean, I hear rumors. Of course, I'm covered up with World Series, but I think everybody wants to know what's going on down there too. And I'd love to be a part of something that one of these days. It's always a dream of mine to get down there. So I'm going to be, hopefully we'll get a promotion going down there for a qualifier, and I'll get Greg to send me over on that ungodly 24-hour flight. So I know he won't fly it, but tell me about it. What's happening over there, man? Something good.
Yeah. Well, we've got an event coming up in January 18th for AWE, which is called Last Man Standing, and it's a bit of a unique style of event. We've run it one time previously. Essentially, it's 1 hour King of the Table non-stop, and winner stays on. Yeah, and so whoever stays in the king position the longest throughout that hour gets $5,000. Whoever's in the king position on the hour mark gets $2,500.
Listen, I already have a plan that I can win that thing. That absolutely, you could be dude. You ain't got to be the smartest guy in the room to figure that one out. Well, maybe I am. I might have to consider that.
Well, we'd love to have you down here. We've got some of the big hitters coming down from this region. Ryan Bowen will be there. We've got Matt Owarangi, Heather Morris coming over from New Zealand, Mario Tabakis, and who else is in the cards there? Brett Coots, who's from Melbourne. Another big heavyweight.
And I know I'd like to pull Ricard again. I just dropped 70 pounds in like 3 months when I pulled him. I was just as strong as I was. There was no moving that little young man. I have definitely recovered and got to a different place, I'd love to lock up with him again. But what an impressive dude, man. So, yeah, you guys got some mad talent over there. Ryan's tough. I mean, Mario's just a beast. But, yeah, I'd love to pull Brett. He's a very respectable, good name of arm wrestling for being not as well known. I mean, he's got a good record and seems to be a tough competitor. So, yeah, I need to make that happen. Was it your show that him and I was on maybe year and a half ago? We had chatted about maybe doing something. So,
yeah, well, that'd be phenomenal, and maybe it could be the feature of a World Series of Arm Wrestling qualifier or something like that.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it for sure. I'm definitely interested. I know Greg is. He thinks the world of you. So, yeah, we look forward to doing some stuff together for sure.
Sounds good, mate. Well, we might leave it there. I know it's starting to get later over you're in Central Time, aren't you?
Central, yeah, it's 8 o'clock. It works for me, my brother. I just want everybody to know that we're here, we're alive, and we are just moving at lightning speed. And if you want real money in your hand, get over to the finals November 7th, San Diego Harley-Davidson, the World Series of Arm Wrestling. Come to the qualifiers. If you need anything, go to the World Series page. Get a hold of me. Get a hold of Greg Sharp. We've got events within a couple hours of you, I assure you. Again, the ones that I had mentioned, South Carolina, Mexicali, New York's. I didn't bring up the other one in the Midwest, but we got Riverside, California, Kansas City, Missouri, Jacksonville. We got New York in September, and then Florida in October. So we got 10 events scheduled. We got 2 to 3 more that we're getting ready to announce. So, man, holler at us, guys. This is for real, and we want to see who the best of the best is. If you think you're the man, come find out. We're the place to figure it out.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it right there from the original, the best, Hollywood. It is Don Underwood. Thank you again for coming on the show. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and comments and that sort of thing. World Series of Arm Wrestling. Go and check them out. They've got a great website and awesome content. There you look out. It's the pecs of Don Underwood are saying goodbye.
Ryan Bowen was trying to figure out who they were talking about one time, and somebody said something about doing this. Don Underwood. He bounces his back all the time. I figured it was Ryan Bowen. I know something to jerk around with.
Oh, fantastic. All right, mate. Well, thank you again, and we'll leave it there, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man.